particular questions, quite good actually. What's the two specific skills and qualities a civil servant should have? And it kind of hints in the documentation they give you and what I found online and stuff like that. The first one is public speaking. Public speaking is not for everybody. It's a difficult thing to do. I mean, for example, my wife absolutely hates public speaking. Absolutely hates it. But I love it. I really enjoy it. I enjoy standing in front of people, talking to people, all right? And sharing thoughts and sharing viewpoints and having that kind of element. And also the other specific skill is listening. Now, listening is an interesting skill in itself because you should never go into anything thinking you know somebody and what their true wants are. And I think that's the important thing about this is if you go in with thinking this is what they actually specifically want and this is what I'm going to do, you're never going to learn anything. You're never going to be able to tell a great story. You're never going to be able to share their story, share their elements. And I think these are the two probably main skills that I think that are important in that element. Yeah, creating a story, creating a service, yeah, it's all great. But without the format of public speaking, being able to share a story, and without listening to what the story actually is, you ain't getting nowhere. You ain't getting nowhere. And I think these are such key elements to being a civil servant. I am civil servant, and that's what I really, really think. And this is what I'm learning in the sense of right now. What I'm currently finding really interesting, digging my toes back into sort of like religions and stuff like that, and just researching stuff, is that fundamentally everything is the same, just with a different path and a different story. And we should never be judgmental to people's solaces where they feel safe for what they feel safe in. And we should always listen to people's viewpoints, even if they are fundamentally different to our own. And you know what? At the end of the day, we could go down the route and say some people have very wrong viewpoints. But I'm not sure if that's the case at the minute. I'm not sure if that's the case. I think people all have valid viewpoints, but we just sometimes need to understand them a little bit better instead of being triggered and offended. It's like something I'm really enjoying at the minute is heathenism philosophy, and the whole concept of the philosophy is you save yourself. If you don't go out and get, you're not going to get back in that sense. And it's kind of really helpful to have that element for me currently because of me doing this this course. I mean, as I've said, I'm doing this slow, but it sort of like helps me to understand myself that I don't need to rush, but I need to get. And that's why I'm doing a question or two every single day and keeping my focus on that. But it's the same with my running. If I don't go out and do my running, all right, if I don't go out and get that in that element, I'm not going to do it. So life philosophy in a lot of ways is very helpful to people in different flipping ways. I mean, we should never be judgmental to people that want to go and confess their sins to a priest, or if they feel like they need to talk to the theologian to understand more about Islam at a mosque, or if they celebrate Shabbat on a Friday, or if they burn a small Wicca sort of like thing to celebrate a god. It's all valid. And I think what we need to do in society these days is respect each other a little bit more. So we can move forward as a human society in a lot of ways. And it's kind of come off a thought process. It's a bit weird, this one. I will talk about the course in a minute. It's come off a thought process of, we look at Palestine, Israel. We look at all them sort of situations. It's peculiar because you look at Palestine and Israel, situation. They're both Abrahamic religions, right? They both have the same source point, but they're arguing. They're killing each other. And Israel are clearly doing something that's specifically wrong. But with this course that I'm doing now, it's not about religion at all. But what I am learning is you have to go into the conversation trying to understand and listen to what's being said. And that, yeah, it's kind of a weird thought, but everybody has a different solace. And I think that's important to remember as well. And that's a helpful thing to remember as well. Because not everybody has the same path, the same fate, the same destiny. Not everybody has the same go-get attitude. Not everybody has any of that. Everybody is totally different and totally individual in how they work and they think. But yeah, in a good mood, people.